Welcome to another short video presentation from the Western Trust Recovery College. This video is called Getting Back on Track. There is no doubt that life is very different now from what it was this time last year. Getting back on track will look at uncertainty, worry, and how to get on with life, even if we don't always know what's ahead. Not being able to tolerate uncertainty is a characteristic of many anxiety disorders. However, given the strange times we find ourselves in, with so many potential anxiety triggers such as fears over coronavirus, going outdoors, having to wear masks, and returning to normal life, as well as what the future might hold, it's perfectly natural for us all to feel more unsettled than usual. At the moment, we may feel bombarded with messages, information, misinformation, restrictions, and recommendations. For many of us, this simply feeds into our anxiety and makes moving forward with our lives seem a very daunting task. As human beings, we crave security. We want to feel safe and have a sense of control over our lives and well-being. One thing is certain: uncertainty and risk are unavoidable, and the only thing we can change is how we manage or deal with them. So how do we get our lives back on track in these uncertain times? We can start by trying to maintain any of the positives or good things we have learned over the past few months, such as learning new skills or hobbies, appreciating having boundaries in our lives, or the importance of connectedness. We can try to keep a sense of balance in our lives and what we do. And we can try to stick to our routines. And most importantly, we can learn to deal with uncertainty. Some people seem to thrive on risk and love the thrill of the unknown, the yet to be explored. And for them, everything out there is just waiting to be discovered. For others, the uncertain and the unpredictable are a step too far outside of their comfort zones and to be avoided at all cost. In reality, though, there are many trivial and not so trivial uncertainties that we need to be able to live with, now more so than ever. The first step when trying to tolerate uncertainty is to understand and acknowledge what your attitude towards uncertainty is, and then to recognise and slowly, step by step, begin to challenge your need for guarantees and certainties. Here are some questions we need to ask ourselves. If I don't know how something will turn out, do I assume the worst? Is it possible that something good is just as likely to happen? If I don't know how something will turn out, do I still participate? How has my need for certainty controlled my life? In the resources section at the end of this video, we've included links to free-to-print workbooks to continue to help you work through your concerns about uncertainty. Uncertainty and worry are closely connected, as we often believe that worry helps us prepare for the uncertainties in life. When thinking ahead helps us achieve our goals, it can be helpful, but worrying as a way of thinking ahead that leaves us feeling anxious or apprehensive, and it does not help us stay in the now. It does not keep us on the right track, and in fact, it can totally derail us. We often use worrying as a way of trying to reduce uncertainty and unpredictability. We see it as a way of trying to work through all possible scenarios to predict life so there are no nasty surprises. And because worrying reduces your feelings of uncertainty, you will continue worrying and worrying. Worry can seem like a chain of thoughts and images that get progressively more and more catastrophic and go off in so many directions that we easily feel overwhelmed. It takes on a life of its own. Worrying can make it seem like we have some control over uncertain circumstances. We may believe that it will help us find a solution to our problems or prepare for the worst. But chronic worrying cannot give us more control over uncontrollable events. It just robs us of enjoyment in the present, saps our energy, stops us doing things, and keeps us up at night. If uncertainty leads you to spend all your time worrying, this can actually impact on your physical health and give you even more to worry about. What leads to uncertainty and worry? Well, things that are ambiguous or unclear, novel and new, or something we've no experience to fall back on, or things that are unpredictable. Our lives at the minute fit all these criteria. So while we may have set ourselves our goals about what we want to do, or the track we want to follow, these circumstances plant the seeds for us to feel uncertainty, to worry, to then feel overwhelmed, unable to meet our goals, or to keep our lives on track. Opportunity often arises from the unexpected. Having to face uncertainty in life can also help you learn to adapt, overcome challenges, and increase your resiliency. It can help you grow as a person. They say challenges are what make life interesting, but overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. So what helps us manage uncertainty? What helps us get back on track? Maintaining balance in our lives, having a balance of activities that gives feelings of pleasure, achievement, and closeness. These activities can also act as a distraction, leaving less time for worry thoughts. Having routines and structures can give us a sense of predictability and a feeling of being more in control. Finding time to engage in the 5 steps to wellness, as discussed in some of our other videos, can also help. Focus on controlling the things that are under your control, such as what you do, the goals you set, and how you react. One way to begin to control your emotions is to actively acknowledge your feelings rather than bottling them up or trying to put a brave face on. Actively facing up to your emotions, even the most negative and fearful ones, can help you to experience and accept uncertainty and reduce stress. It can help to tell yourself that life is full of uncertainty, and whilst you can't control the things that happen, you can control how you react. Try to identify if your worry is helpful worry. Thoughts about actual problems or thinking things through can help you find actual solutions. Or if it's hypothetical worry or unhelpful worry, which are thoughts about things that are not actually happening or are likely to happen and which have no solutions. Address your need for certainty. Reducing your need for certainty will reduce the drive to worry. Be present focused. Practice mindfulness to help bring us back to the present moment. Worry and uncertainty tend to be future focused, and we need to be more present focused. Being present focused helps us accept uncertainty as a part of life and that we don't need to engage with worrying, which is about events in the future. Our minds may wander, but we can learn to recognise this and not go wherever our thoughts lead us, but to bring our attention back to what we can do in the present moment. We can practice postponing worry. Some people find it helpful to set aside a time each day to let yourself worry and put off worrying until that time. We can practice gratitude to help connect with moments of joy, aliveness, and pleasure in the moment. We can notice and limit triggers to worry, e.g. watching news, social media, talking to certain people that may trigger us off, or making sure we get reliable information. Finally, we can learn to speak to ourselves with compassion, responding to our worrying thoughts with kindness and compassion, telling ourselves it's understandable to be worried. It would be unusual not to be, but to think what is the best thing we could do for ourselves to feel better right now. Behaviours such as worrying and procrastinating offer the illusion of having some control over a situation. But what do they change in reality? The truth is, no matter how much you try to plan and prepare for every possible outcome, life will find a way of surprising you. And all striving for certainty really does is fuel worry and anxiety. However, there are some practical steps we can take that will help us deal with anxieties around the current coronavirus pandemic, and these are outlined on the slide. Behaviours such as worrying and procrastinating offer the illusion of having some control over a situation. But what do they change in reality? The truth is, no matter how much you try to plan and prepare for every possible outcome, life will find a way of surprising you. And all striving for certainty really does is fuel worry and anxiety. Here are some practical steps that we can take that will help us deal with anxieties around the current coronavirus pandemic, such as following official advice, seeking out trustworthy sources of information, keeping in contact with our support systems, sharing how you're feeling, using distracting techniques, keeping a routine, and practicing daily meditation. Here is a simple breathing exercise that you can practice when you want to reduce anxiety and to calm down. This exercise helps trigger a relaxation response, focuses your mind on the present moment, and helps ease stress. Start by having your hands resting in your lap with the palms facing upwards. Slide your left hand under your right hand and move your left thumb to the centre of your right palm and apply a little pressure. This pressure point relates to your diaphragm and can help release tension from it. Close your eyes and breathe gently with all your focus on the breath and on the pressure point in the palm of your hand. Breathe in through the nose and out through your nose or mouth, whichever feels most comfortable. Breathe in for a count of 5. Hold the breath for a count of 2. And exhale for a count of 7. Repeat this for 5 to 10 rounds. And then repeat with the other hand. Notice how you're feeling now. Do you feel calmer, more focused? The Recovery College has co-produced a number of short video presentations on different mental health and well-being topics, including several specifically on anxiety. Please do watch them on the Recovery College page on the Western Trust website or on the Western Trust YouTube channel. You can also enrol at the Western Trust Recovery College for our group workshops on the Western Trust website. If this video has raised any issues for you and you require support with your mental health and already have a key worker, please get in touch with them. Otherwise, make contact with your GP. Alternatively, you can telephone Lifeline or the Smartens, who both offer free 24-hour, 7 days a week helplines. Thank you.